In a state known for its bluegrass, the Kentucky Derby, elite horse sales, bourbon whiskey, world-renowned baseball bats, this week, it's all pushed to the wayside to make room for American Hereford. The National Junior Hereford Expo is in town, where it will showcase 700 exhibitors from 39 states who will exhibit in excess of 1,300 head of Hereford cattle. Elite females, herd bull prospects, and a set of junior kids that are second to none will grace the American International Facility in Louisville for the coming week. Sit back and enjoy as Cattle Drive Live presents first ever Hereford Now. And with me tonight, I have the great honor to have Miss Amy Cowan, Director of Youth Activities and Foundation, as well as Shane Bedwell, Chief Operating Officer and Director of Breed Improvement, with me tonight for this first ever Hereford Now. Guys, thank you.
Certainly. It's a pleasure to be on. We love what you're doing on your network, and it's been so positive in the industry, and we're just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. I know Amy and I have visited a couple of times about some opportunity to try something different and leave it to Amy to have some really bold ideas. And here we are today. I'm excited. And today what you're going to find out is we're going to talk to Jack Ward, American Hereford Association EVP. We're going to get to highlight some of these Hereford youth and the breed, how they're preparing them for this industry is preparing them events like the National Junior Expo, but other opportunities that you offer as well. We're going to hear from some Hereford youth that excelled in and out of the ring. A little bit later, Amy, you're going to tell us about HIFA and just what that machine does to benefit these youth. Later on, Shane and I are going to welcome Dave Allen in and have a little bit of game day prediction fun. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But right now, we're going to get right into it. What do you guys think about this lineup?
Well, this is pretty neat, Brett. Thanks so much for the idea and helping us bring it to fruition. I've been a huge fan of the Cattle Drive Live since your journey began this fall, and it's just fun to bring Hereford Now here to the main stage at the Junior National Hereford Expo. We're having a banner week so far, and we are sure looking forward to starting showmanship in the morning. And we've got four solid days of show on these green chips, and I just appreciate you having us on and letting us tell the story and our mission of scholarship and education and leadership. It's going to be a fun night.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, speaking of telling the Hereford story, if you get on some Facebook, some social media channels through the Hereford Association, you guys have some really cool promotion videos. And right now we're going to get to listen to one of those directly from American Hereford.
It's a simple and perfect union. Sky, grass, cows. It requires care and grit that withstands the trials of time. This calling has sustained America's families for hundreds of years. Quality genetics will sustain it for hundreds more.
Well, you saw it right there. Sustainability, efficiency come home to Hereford. And with us right now, Executive Vice President of the American Hereford Association, Jack Ward. Jack, thanks for being here.
You bet, Brett. Thanks for inviting me to be a part of your show this evening. Looking forward to it. Tell a little bit about the story, learn about Hereford.
Absolutely. So tell me just real quick, what is the current state of the American Hereford Association?
Well, we're very proud to announce, we're getting ready for another fiscal year end, and the association has been strong and healthy for a number of years, and from a financial standpoint. But more importantly, the cattle are better, the breeders are stronger. We're just so proud of the progress that we're making and where we fit in the commercial industry, and so just a lot of good things happening. And we're going to share a few things with you this evening.
Good deal. Shane, as always, Director of Breed Improvement. Just currently, where do you feel like Hereford fits within the industry?
As you think about the cow herds out there and what we can add to the bottom line for the commercial producers, the feeder, and the packer, we bring a lot to the table, but right there in the video, hit on a lot of good things that we've documented over time relative to fertility, the advantages that we have, docility, feet and leg structure, the hardiness of the Hereford breed. 1881 was when this association was started, and so we've done so much good over time. But those hardcore traits relative to efficiency and the doability of this breed lives on through multiple generations of these Hereford breeders and their cattle.
Right. And he just mentioned 1881. And for those of you out there that enjoy a podcast, the American Hereford Association powers a podcast monthly. It's titled 1881. And Shane, you do a great job of bringing some guys in, getting some neat perspective. So find that through the Hereford social media channels. But guys, we talk about the health of it and where you're headed to. Let's talk about something that's exciting with your partnership and agreement with Colorado State University, and just we talked a little bit about data collection and what it means to the Hereford. You guys tell us a little bit about that.
Certainly, Brett. I'll start us off here a little bit. We are excited. As Shane mentioned, since 1881, the Hereford breed has been a presence in the commercial industry and grown. We're backed by what Shane says, good stockmen. We got good breeders in our breed and good stockmen. And over time, things develop. Obviously, performance recording back in the 60s, the introduction of AI use. We added certified Hereford beef in 1995, whole herd reporting in the late 1990s, early 2000s, genomics. We've collected a ton of feed intake data. We've had research projects going on from Missouri to California, and this is just our next step, or the evolution of our projects and research. We announced it last week. What we're doing is we're adding some equipment. I'll let Shane talk about that here in a second. At our young sire test herd in western Nebraska, the Olson ranches. And at that spot, we've been collecting feed intake data now for about 10 years. And the next step to that is to add some methane collector units. And so we're going to look at where we believe and what we know in terms of efficient cattle. Lower intake means lower methane excretion. And so it's a good project. And where do we fit here in this industry from a sustainability standpoint, not only from an environmental standpoint, but what we've done and through our research documented the value of those Hereford genetics in these commercial cow herds. And so all of it combined is going to create an excellent story. I'll let Shane give you a little bit more information on what we are going to do with CSU and the equipment that we're putting in.
So we're excited to have a partnership with Colorado State University. We're going to fund a graduate student to be a part of our team and work in collaboration with Kim Stackhouse Lawson and the genetics team of Mark Inns, Scott Spadell, Milt Thomas, and Craig Uffines. There's a name from the past that was a part of our team, for a long time. And so it's kind of like getting the whole crew back together. Right. And as Jack kind of tied into that, this is the next layer. We've been very progressive, in the last 20 years. And so our friends at C-Lock make a piece of equipment called green feed. Okay. And it's basically a way where we can capture the greenhouse gas emissions. We're going to measure nitrogen excretion in those cattle as well. We're going to measure water intake along with feed intake. And so there's a lot of things that we're going to be looking at. And, we're excited about where this is going. The literature right now points, it favors feed intake. And over time, the Meat Animal Research Center, Oklahoma State University, Dr. Dave Lawman has showed a strong advantage that Hereford has relative to efficiency. And so we're just going to add this other layer to it and be able to make a claim. Right. When we get challenged, and we are getting challenged in the beef industry, and that's what we're excited about, that Hereford's going to be out in the forefront of these type of projects where we can show folks that what we do is actually really good. And our breeders have documented that for a long time. And this is the next step in our evolution.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. You talk about a product that you guys have been building since 1881 as the American Hereford, and you're doing this through data. You're doing it with cold, hard facts for these guys. But you talked a little bit about sustainability. That is a direct reflection back to those breeders. Is that right?
Oh, there's no question. And so, Brett, you know that drought is upon many of us out in the country. Pressures, input costs are high. And, this industry, the beef industry, has been so efficient for so long and grown. We produce more pounds of beef today in the U.S. with the fewest number of cows that we've ever had. Nobody in the world can touch us in terms of efficiency. But the problem is we're going to continue to be asked to do more with less, right? In terms of natural resources, there's going to be some handcuffs put on us there, and certainly just in terms of where we need to fit, and we just got to get better. And Hereford is going to have a key part of that component, or be a big part of that industry moving forward. We're excited about the research, and it's just about the beef industry and sustainability from the producer standpoint to the environment and so on and so forth.
Absolutely. So those of you guys listening there can tell you, Hereford Association just told you it's important to have data, and these guys have put their money where their mouth is, and to put the rubber on the road, and they're going to show you what these cattle can do. And speaking of that, of education, one of you guys' sponsors, big sponsor for your week, is Sullivan Supply, and that's somebody else who commits a lot to education. We're going to go and listen about Sullivan Supply right away.
For a real dreamer, the word dream is defined as the visualization of the ultimate goal in your life. For John Sullivan, his dream of starting a livestock show supply company began in his family's small garage on the most meager of budgets. 30 years later, Sullivan Supply has evolved into the innovative leader in livestock show supplies, and the same values of hard work and family ties remain. Sullivan Supply appreciates the years of support from our customers and is proud to support the Hereford breed and all the hardworking dreamers here at this event. As an industry partner and the official show supplier of the National Junior Hereford Association, we are excited to serve as a major sponsor of Hereford events across the country, as well as the title sponsor of the team fitting and showmanship contests at the Junior National Hereford Expo. Sullivan Supply, committed to Hereford.
Well, you can't say enough about John Sullivan and the crew at Sullivan Show Supplies. And with us right now, we've got Luke Boland with Sullivan Supply and Mason Allen. Guys, thanks for being with us. You bet. Luke, tell us just real quick, what is your role at Sullivan Supply and Sullivan Farms?
Sure. So I'm technically the creative director. So anything creative coming out of the company, that's me. When I started at the company, I played a pretty big role in the Pulse launching. And over time, just kind of worked my way toward more of the creative vision for the company.
Good. I love how he said he was just part of the Pulse. Mr. Humble here, he was the Pulse. Amy, you've got a vested interest in Luke, and tell us just a little bit. You guys have a conversation about what Sullivan does for you, as well as just what you think of Mr. Humble Luke.
Well, Sullivan Supply is just awesome when you talk about commitment to Hereford youth, and I'll do quite a bit for my corporate partners. I even let them pour a bucket of green shavings over me today after my showmanship showdown that I didn't fare so well in. But anyway, it was fun, and I just appreciate the Sullivan crew bringing some fun to our stock show you today and our team fitting contest and showmanship tomorrow. But Luke is a product of our program. 10 years ago, I think it was.
Yep.
He was an ambassador for us. The first year we had an ambassador team come and help us orchestrate the Junior National, and the next summer he was the intern. And then he moved on and went to work for Sullivan. And so it's just fun to be able to now work with him in this capacity, and, just neat to see that all come full circle. And now he's working in the industry and was a part of this back when he started his career.
Absolutely. Luke, it's obvious when you look around, Stock Show U from an education standpoint is something that Sullivan's is committed to. You guys really want these kids to learn, not just purchase something. you guys are committed to education. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, so for us, Starkshire University is a program that is kind of one of our core beliefs, because without the future of the industry, without these kids learning how to fit and clip and show, where would we be at a show supply company in 10 years? So we really want to invest in the kids, Starkshire U, the scholarship program, kind of all of it, just to get the most education in those kids' hands to push them down the road.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I want to say thank you for you guys'
Yeah.
commitment. Thank you for what you do, not only here but industry wide. It's you can see it. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
And with that, we've got Mr. Mason Allen. I still want to say Schulenburg, Texas, and it's Nocona, Texas. Is that right?
It is Nocona now. After 17 years, we are now in Nocona.
Right. Yeah, and a product of the Hereford Association, I think. Part of Sullivan Distinguished Crew.
Yes, sir. I was very blessed this year. I was one of the scholarship recipients for the Sullivan Supply Scholarship. So that was a really, really neat deal.
And a past showmanship winner in our Sullivan Supply showmanship competition. That's one of our most competitive events of the whole week at the Junior National. So Mason's always at the top of the showmanship game for sure.
Exactly. Hey, tell us something real quick. What was it like growing up through the Junior Hereford Association and spending your time here at these Junior Nationals?
To me, the Junior National has been my everything since the time I can remember. I can remember my first Junior Nationals was in Kansas City. I was 7 years old. And I had my little heifer named Bunny, and I didn't have much expectations. I kind of knew what was going on. I kind of did not. And me and Bunny won our division that day, and I didn't know it at the time how big of a deal that was. But Junior National's been everything. My summers since the time I was 7 have been dedicated to this show. My best friends have been made at this show. Business connections, family connections. It's my everything, and it's the show I look forward to most because of people like Amy and Bailey that put on this incredible event.
Right.
So Mason, take it a little further. Talk about the National Junior Hereford Association as a whole, and what kind of impact has that had on you? You don't only go to this Junior National, but you've been to our Faces of Leadership conference and been involved just kind of all around. You've been involved in the Fed Steer Shootout and different things like that.
Yes, ma'am. This association has molded me into who I am today through the Faces of Leadership. That's helped me with leadership. It's helped me meet people that I do meet a lot of people at this show, but at that specific event, I've met more people from different aspects and places in this country than any other event that I've ever been to. I think Faces of Leadership is a very, very great thing that we have. And then, like she said, the Fed Steer Shootout. I think of myself as a show cattle kid, but through the Fed Steer Shootout, I was able to get a completely different perspective on the other side of the industry. And that was, once again, an eye-opening experience, and one that I'm very, very grateful for.
Good. Just listening to him talk here, you could sense in it. You enjoy coming to these things. You enjoy networking. You enjoy all of the things, meeting people from other parts of the state or other parts of the United States that have the same interest as you. And earlier today, I had the chance to walk around the barn, myself and Taylor Bell, and video some youth of Hereford and get their perspective on what they like about Herefords, what they like about this show, and what continually drives them back. And there, they put a cool little video together of a whole bunch of kids. So let's check this out.
Hi, my name is Bowen Grace. I'm from Chillicothe, Missouri, and the reasons why I love coming to Hereford Junior Nationals is because of the opportunities and life lessons I get to learn and use in the future, and able to look back on the old memories I've made and make new ones with families, friends, and also make new friends.
My name's Ella Weldon. I'm from Piedmont, Oklahoma. My favorite part about Junior Nationals is meeting new people and spending time with my cattle.
Hi, I'm Callan.
And I'm Casey.
We're from Ohio, and my favorite thing about Junior Nationals is that I get to compete against people from all over the country.
My favorite part about Junior Nationals is that I get to meet new friends and show a lot.
Hi, my name is Grady Creamer. I'm from Texas. My favorite thing about Hereford Junior Nationals is the people and just every opportunity that you get to do what you love.
I'm Grady Carter from Stratford, Oklahoma, and what makes JNHE so different is meeting new people and friends that have the same interests as you. My favorite part is the competition because it's on the next level.
Hi, I'm Jarrett Worrell. I'm from Mason, Texas. I think my favorite thing about the Hereford Junior Nationals is the showmanship. As a Pee-wee, I won my first year of showmanship, and I'm looking forward to it this year.
Hi, I'm Catherine Coleman. I'm from Modesto, California, and Junior Nationals means family, friends, and memories of a lifetime to me.
I'm KNX from Putnam, Oklahoma, and my favorite thing about Hereford Junior Nationals is just meeting new people and connecting with friends who you've had forever.
Hi, I'm Sage Lawrence. I'm from Avila, Indiana. And what makes the Hereford Junior Nationals different is the atmosphere is like a complete family. It's so inclusive.
Hi, I'm Fancy Clark. I'm from Muldrow, Oklahoma. And what makes the Hereford Expo so unique to our family is not only the amount of numbers at the show, but you get to meet so many people from all over the country at such a great place.
My name is Dakota Gillig. I am from Kansas, and my favorite part of Junior Nationals is coming here and being able to see all the Hereford lovers as I am.
I'm Blake Bruns, Klein, Nebraska, and my favorite memory was having the reserve champion heifer in the horn show.
Hi, my name's Sierra Collins. I'm from Frederick, Oklahoma. The reason why Junior Nationals is so important to me is because I get to meet so many people and I get to see some family members that I don't get to see very often. And I think it's super cool that kids from all over the U.S. come together for this amazing show.
Well, Amy and I have the good fortune to welcome in this year's Junior National Herdsman of the Year candidates. And I know it's something that's near and dear to Hereford, but I can promise you this crew here, this award's near and dear to them.
We do have a pretty special award with our Herdsman of the Year awards. We do it on the adult level and then at the junior level as well. So today was a pretty special day in the barns. We had a selection committee that's been walking around the last couple days, and they picked out these five individuals to be on this year's slate for the Herdsman of the Year, and it's a neat deal, and I'm sure proud of them because these are definitely some superstars that are going to go big places in the industry and have a huge passion for what we're doing and do such a nice job with their cattle and just all around good junior members. So I'm just going to introduce them and just ask them what it means to them to be nominated. So our first nomination, Mr. Bryden Barber from Texas. Bryden is no stranger to the show ring and the Junior National. Bryden, what does this nomination mean to you?
It's truly a humbling experience to be nominated for this prestigious award in the junior organization, especially against my awesome peers. And it's really just a great feeling to be nominated amongst the advisors of the year.
You bet. Well, congratulations to you. It is a neat deal. They will be voted on, like Bryden said, by all of the junior exhibitors who entered an animal at this year's Junior National, and that voting will open up tomorrow. And then they were also interviewed by the selection committee this afternoon. So the selection committee actually went out to their stalls and sat down with them and asked them about their show string and, what they were, their feeding programs and the regimens at home and just about their breeding decisions and all that kind of good stuff. So definitely a neat award when you think about the vote from the peers and then the interview process and that. So, and we've got some really good friends up here. These guys are a pretty tight-knit group. I even think Dylan Kottkamp is our next nominee, and I think Dylan and Bryden are roommates at OSU. So definitely best of friends in the hunt for Herdsman of the Year. So, Dylan, what does it mean to you to be nominated?
Yeah, this industry has given me so much, and I've given my all to this industry, and to have that be shown and be recognized for it, it's truly humbling and very grateful for it. And I just love the Hereford breed and all it's given to me. So really, really great opportunity. And to be amongst these four guys and gal, these guys have had great careers. And so it's pretty neat deal.
You bet. Well, good luck to you, Dylan, and definitely well deserving. And you've definitely been an all around standout in that national program. Attended our Bold Conference, Leadership Conference this spring, and just scholarship recipient and just an all around good junior member. Next up from South Dakota is Chesney Effling, and Chesney is no stranger to the Hereford show ring. Her family shows just excels in a lot of different breeds, and we're sure glad that she chose Hereford to come home to Hereford and show the red and white cattle. And Chesney, what does it mean to you to be nominated?
Well, this is certainly an honor. Like you said, the Herefords have kind of been my chosen path, and as a first-generation Hereford breeder, this is kind of the ultimate goal for me, and I truly can't say how humbled and honored I am. So I really want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity, and can't say thank you enough.
All righty. Well, congratulations and good luck to you. And next up is our two gentlemen from out west. These two are they are best of friends, and they travel, the two of them, all the way from clear out west. And I was telling Ryan's mom today, I said, you know, when I was that age, I don't think mom and dad would have put me in a pickup and trailer and said, hey, head to Louisville and you know, safe travels. So, I mean, that's pretty commendable. You bring your cattle and come a lot of miles. How many miles did you travel?
Oh, I think it's going to be 5,000 total around.
Yeah. So Ben Holt from Idaho and Ryan Rogers from Idaho as well. So Ben, what does it mean to you to be nominated?
You know, this breed has done a lot for me and my family, and it's truly one of the coolest things ever. And I'm just really grateful for the breed.
You bet. I have fun getting to know these two young men when we go out to Reno to the Western Nugget each fall, and they do a standout job in the West, and you know, bring a really good string here to Louisville this week. So Ryan, what does it mean to you?
It's truly an honor to be nominated for Herdsman of the Year. I've gotten to see a lot of past Herdsman of the Years, even just candidates, and they've gone on to do great things in the breed and the industry, and it's truly an honor to stand alongside of them.
You bet. Well, we wish you luck and look for big things out of the five of you in the future. And we just hope you have a good week here on the Green Chips.
Thank you all. As they exit stage to the left, we're going to bring Shane back in here. I can tell you, that set of Hereford juniors right there. You talk about humble, good kids, well-spoken, excited. I can promise you, they're ready to get back to the barn and get back down to business, because they didn't come here for the lights. They came here to kick your butt.
Yeah, makes my job pretty fun to get to work with young talent like that, and just good kids and fun to be around. And
well, they just, I mean, just watching them grow up and what they've done in our breed as far as their leadership. You know, there's a ton of young kids that look up to our senior members, and what better role models could you ask for?
Yep,
and those guys and gals are as Bruce Everhart would say, top drawer.
Top drawer.
It makes my job pretty fun to get to work with this young talent, and they just are going to do big things. So.
You know, as we talk about young talent, we talk about herdsmen, we talk about the importance of building programs. Each year, those programs want to have sales. They want to have production sales, because for some reason, the banker will be calling and the feed truck's going to run and you're going to have to pay bills. And with that, there's a company out there that's part of what we do at Cattle Drive, CCI Live. And let's go to them and listen to them on what they offer you in terms of sales.
We've now done 2 auctions with CCI. First time we've ever participated with them was earlier this year for an embryo sale. Had probably the most success we've ever had.
Can you hear me? Well, as we come back in here to Cattle Drive Live and the Hereford Now, with us, we've got Mr. Trent Ray from Glencoe, Oklahoma. Trent, good to have you.
Appreciate it.
Abs-
Thanks for doing this. It means a lot. I
Absolutely.
think to us and the kids and for Amy as well.
Right. Yeah. It's a big ordeal. That CCI crew that's with us all the time. I've got to say this. Current booking sales. Call Darla at the office 402-704-8003. They offer real-time viewing and bidding service on all species. Sale clerking. They have a unique sale page that they create for every sale that they do. Get a hold of CCI if they can be any benefit to you or your operation this fall. Trent, big stuff come out of your program this year when you stepped to the plate and helped Miss Amy with HIFA. Amy, tell us just real quick, what is this? I call it a machine, HIFA. Tell us about it.
You know, the Hereford Youth Foundation of America, we wear lots of different hats when you work for a breed association, but one of my favorite hats is working for the Hereford Youth Foundation. It's been really neat to watch it unfold. You know, Chris Stevens got it started back in the day, and it's really been neat to carry the mission and the story forward. And we've just helped a lot of young people do some pretty neat things when it comes to scholarship and the opportunities we've been able to provide with leadership and education. You know, Junior Nationals, that's our education wheelhouse, and all the scholarships we'll give away. $200,000 worth of scholarships this year, and
$200,000 in scholarships.
Yeah,
My
and
gosh.
we couldn't do it without our support. You know, we've got great corporate support, but we have some awesome breeder support, and it's really fun to be up here on stage with my good friend Trent Ray from Oklahoma. He did really step up to the plate this year and started a pretty neat tradition that we're going to carry on. And Trent, tell a little bit about what we did and accomplished in Oklahoma City.
So I guess we're going to backdate real quick. It goes back really to 2004 for me. So we drove one head all the way to Mississippi. I think it was in Tunica maybe. And at that point, I don't even know if come home to Hereford was a thing yet, but it sure felt like home.
Good.
When you walk into that barn, people welcome you with open arms. And we left that show, and I told my parents, you know, if we ever get the opportunity to do something, we're going to do it. And when Amy called this year, I called Leslie. It was actually during, I think, one of the Hereford sales. She called and said, hey, I've got an idea. And we were really itching to get involved in this junior deal because Amy's been an integral part from the time that I started showing to the time I stopped, and still now keeps me very current with the juniors.
You bet.
And she brought up the idea of, hey, if you got a pretty good heifer, let's put her in that deal. And if we could step up, and I mean, any way at all, in any shape, form, it didn't have to be a heifer, we were going to do it.
Right.
And we just so happened to have a very, very special one at home. And it's something that Leslie and I take a lot of pride in. And so every year we're going to offer something that is one of our best for that deal to help the kids out.
That is awesome. And, you know, it's programs, Trent, like yours, that was built from the junior start. You saw the value in HIFA. You see the value in the education side. She talked about $200,000 to be given away from the machine, as I like to reference it. But this just goes to show what HIFA does is it fuels itself through these juniors who grow up and see value in what you do. So
yeah, and it's pretty neat to see it all start working together, you know, whether it's a heifer or it's a percentage of a sale or it's you know, that's what's so neat. We have this Foundation One program, and that's what the funds from the heifer that Trent donated in Oklahoma City and the future donations, they're going to funnel into this Foundation One program. And, you know, that program started as 1% of a sale or 10% of a sale or 100% of some type of proceeds that goes back. And when that all starts working together, you know, it doesn't, I think that's the big thing. It you know, just no gift is too big or too small. It's just really neat when it all starts working together to help so many young people.
That's good. Trent, tell us just real quick your plans moving forward with helping out and benefiting HIFA. Just what are your plans moving forward?
I don't know if we've crossed that bridge yet, and I have. We know we are going to be a part of it each and every year. We know that we want to be involved for as long as we are allowed and in the breed. The breed has given me so many connections now that I'm as aging out from a junior to a breeder, and I saw the benefit, like you guys just said, that we thought we needed to continue to be involved within the junior program.
Right. Good deal. Well, there's no doubt about it. What you did this year will benefit the youth of tomorrow. And Amy, what you do this Hereford Youth Foundation of America is something that's so unique, and you do such a good job with that. But Trent, thank you for what you did.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet, you bet. And as we do that, and we bring this in here, we're going to bring in two other ones right now. Dylan Kottkamp is going to come in here with us here shortly, along with Molly Briggs. Here they are. Come on in here. Seems like I've seen you before.
I'm back.
Absolutely. He says I'm back. Hey, Amy, talk to us about these two juniors.
Well, like I said earlier, these all these young people we're bringing on the Cattle Drive Live tonight are definitely superstars in not only our breed, but I think they're going to go out and be superstars in the whole industry when they go on past their college careers and into their real world jobs, I like to say. But Dylan, you were a part of something special we did this spring. Tell us a little bit about your experience at the Bold Leadership Conference in Texas.
Yeah, me and Molly also had the great opportunity to go to one of GKB's ranches in Desdemona, Texas. Excuse me. Yep. Huge thank you to Gary and Kathy. They opened up their beautiful place to us and allowed 20 of us juniors in the Hereford Association to go and have a little leadership retreat. And it was pretty special to build our leadership skills, build our friendships, build our connections, and it was a great time.
That was pretty neat, and that's all part of our story too. We just talked to Trent Ray, and that heifer that Trent sold in Oklahoma City, Gary and Kathy Buckholtz purchased, and we can't thank GKB Cattle enough because with that purchase and all of their support, it allows us to do things like the Bold Leadership Conference and numerous other things. And we just when you get people like Trent and Gary and Kathy working together, you can do big things. And I just wish everybody could have been a part of that weekend we had in Texas. I mean, it was just really, you just were seeing leadership in action, and it was just really, really neat to experience. So Molly, tell us, you were at Molly Biggs from Illinois, K-State. Yep. You're working on your degree at K-State. Tell us about you were at Bold as well, but you are also involved in the Fed Steer Shootout. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've been involved in the Fed Steer Shootout since its first year. It's really been one of the greatest experiences I've had in this industry. It teaches you about what happens outside of this ring that we're in, and really what the beef industry is all about. It teaches you, you put your steer in December, and you can see it all the way to harvest, and what your end product is, and really how we feed the world. So.
Yeah, that's been a really neat program. The show ring's fun, and that's where the fun is, and just so many moments and memories in the show ring. But when you can bring it real world, and this spring we had Cargill was involved, and on the meat fabrication side and cuts of meat. And when you can talk about feeding the world, that is really what it's all about. Yeah. And we're trying to teach these young junior members just what that's all about.
That is exactly right. And two of you have benefited from those scholarships that we talked about with Haifa that Trent benefited this year. So two high quality Hereford juniors here. Congratulations to the both of you. We talk about some of your sponsors, some of your helpers. I like to say that in terms of marketing, VitaFerm does such a good job. From the stalls, the walls, and the halls, you can see something with VitaFerm. And for that, let's go and listen to about VitaFerm here real quick. Yep, we're good to go. I can tell you here, we just talked and saw a message from a big time sponsor, a long-term sponsor that has been a big part of American Hereford and what they do. Amy, talk just real quick about VitaFirm.
You know, the folks at Biozyme Incorporated and the VitaFirm brand are pretty special to our Junior National Hereford Expo and our entire junior program. They have been involved really since I've been involved in helping produce these junior nationals, and you know, it's just been a great partnership. We've done a lot of neat things and made some great opportunities for these young people.
Right. Earlier this week, I had the chance to sit down and visit with Alan Lee, who is the Director of Domestic Business Development and Sales with VitaFirm. And this is exactly what he had to say about VitaFirm's commitment to Hereford.
You know, Brett, ever since I've known Bob and Lisa Norton, they've always told me to practice care that comes full circle. And you know, what does care that comes full circle mean? At Biozyme, we believe that means if we take care of our community, our customers, our people, and their livestock, that you know, ultimately the care will come full circle back around and take care of us. You know, Bob was one of the most caring people I've ever known in my life, and certainly one of the most giving, if you will. And he's always been very passionate about giving back to the youth organizations and within our community. And as you know, there are many of those, just like the Junior Hereford Association. And we're just always so delighted that we have the ability and can give back to them and be involved in helping with the development and education of our youth, and ultimately, you know, are excited about the opportunity that those youth will have to come back later in life and live the lifestyle in which you and I get to, Brett. And you know, we get to look at cattle every day. We get to be around livestock people, and you know, ultimately that's a way that we at Biozyme feel that we can give back to our community, and we certainly enjoy doing it. You know, Bob was always so passionate about that, and with Lisa's vision and direction, you know, anybody that's been around her for more than 2 minutes knows that Lisa Norton is so passionate about the youth and livestock, and very driven to give back to them, and very driven to help in any way possible. And you know, we appreciate you having us on today. As always, Brett, we enjoy that, and we appreciate what you guys do for the youth and livestock, and we're just glad to be part of it. But you know, ultimately, per your question, it's very important to us at Biozyme to honor Bob's legacy and his vision, and you know, he's always been involved with the youth, always been involved with different cattle organizations, Hereford, Angus, so on and so forth, and you know, it's very important to Lisa that we continue to do that, and I think you'll see as much support as you always have, and we're certainly glad to be here. Thanks for all you guys do.
You're
good.
Well, Bob Norton was one special individual, and he meant a lot to this show. And you know, since we lost him in April, it's been tough, and it's just not quite the same. But like Lisa, Bob's wife, said, he would want us to keep moving on and carrying on that legacy that he started. And I hope we're making him proud with this Junior National Hereford Expo this week. And I know he's definitely part of it and watching down. But when you talk about Biozyme's motto, the care that comes full circle, that was definitely Bob Norton. I don't know if there's a person that cared more, and he cared for kids. He loved kids, and he loved people, and he was just a great person to work with. And I just consider myself very blessed to have gotten to work with him and learn from him. He was a huge mentor to me and meant so much to the foundation. And you know what, Bob, this Junior National is for you. And I just wanted to bring some of our friends that served on the HIFA board with Bob, and just I've got George Sprague, Bar 1 Bar One Ranch in Oregon. He's the vice chairman of the HIFA board. And Jill Bielema from Michigan. She is a huge part of the HIFA board. Both of these people serve on our scholarship committee and have just done so much for the young people. And we loved working with Bob. And I brought them up here to just share a little bit about what Bob meant to the board and how we're going to honor him this week.
Well, I remember my first encounter with Bob. I didn't really meet him, but at the first Junior Nationals I was ever at, VitaFirm was already a part of it, and Bob, at some point during the Junior Nationals, gave a little speech, an inspirational speech that was just so warm and moving, and asking the kids to do the best they can do always, and so forth. And that was my first impression of Bob. And then I was really thrilled when he joined the HIFA board with us. We all have different kinds of expertise. I'm a university professor, so I like scholarships. Bob is a businessman, so he likes finances. I don't understand anything about finances. And I was so grateful to have Bob there to help explain what the hell was going on with the finances. So
I love it.
Those are my memories of Bob.
He was good at that. And I think some of my favorite memories are, sitting up on the stage during the show and looking back over the arena, across the arena to the VitaFirm booth. And, when Bob would come for those last couple show days, I mean, the booth, he was just surrounded by young people, and all the kids were so excited to shake his hand, and he would take all the time he needed to shake their hands and talk to those young people. And, he was able to hire a lot of our young Hereford members. And that was really neat. He really enjoyed finding those talented young Hereford kids that could come to work for him. And we'd talk about that a lot. So Jill, what's some of your fondest memories, and tell us a good Bob story?
Oh, there's a lot of Bob stories out there, but when I think about Bob, it brings to my heart such a warm, deep feeling. He was a man of character, a man of God, a child of God, a humble servant, and that just exuded out of his personality. Like Amy and George have said, he cares for the kids. He cares for all those around us. And that was something that when I heard of his passing, through the tears, I think we all vowed to carry on his legacy, right, and carry on that idea of stewardship of how we can care and how we can promote integrity and good morals and so forth. I can still remember sitting in a couple meetings with him, and he would lean back in his chair, and he had his hands. He always held his hands in a certain way. He let everybody else talk first, and then he would offer his sage advice. And indeed, it was sage advice. And thank you, Bob, for that. We miss you.
Yep, you bet. And you think about somebody like Bob Norton, I'm always reminded of a story. My granddad would always say, son, you need to live, so that way the preacher don't have to lie at your funeral. And I think about that with Bob. He lived the golden rule. Do unto those others as you want them to do to you. And it was never about the dollars to him. Treat people right, and they will treat you right. And I think that is such a good message for anybody that wants to listen. So.
Yep. And just to know him made you feel, just made you better. Yep. And it was just a real pleasure to work with him. And it's fun to carry on the tradition and keep working. I enjoy the VitaFirm staff so much, and we always have a fun week, and it's just, yep, we're carrying it on. And we've got a special award on Friday before the champion drive here on the Green Chips, and we're gonna recognize the first Bob Norton Excellence Award, and we're gonna make a tradition of that and just recognize a young person. We're gonna recognize a young person that is past the ranks of the National Junior Hereford Association, but a real young gun in the industry that is really putting what he learned in the NJHA to work for him in his career. And I'm just excited to make that announcement on Friday.
Oh, that's good. Great man, great program. Thank you guys for being here and saying what you did about such a fine man to Hereford. But, one thing you can say about VitaFirm, they knew how to market things. And they're big supporters of us at Cattle Drive Live and the Drive Marketing. And I knew from the get-go, when we started Cattle Drive and when we started Drive Marketing, I wanted their take on it, because I feel like if you can do anything, if you can impress VitaFirm the way they market things, you've got a little bit of foothold. They've been with us from the get-go as a corporate partner. And with that, I want to tell you about something we're working on at Cattle Drive called the Drive Marketing. And we've got a small video right here. All right, we're back again. And when this whole Sports Center approach happened, Shane, this was the part I was most excited for, because I like to get in this guy's head. I like to get in your head and get into these pedigrees. And I think that's what brings this business full circle for me, is we've got to hear from people that served on half a board. We've got to hear from some of your juniors. Hey, we all didn't come out here to look at these chips. We come out here to own them. And I don't know what's going to happen over the next few days. There's some really high quality livestock in the back. And for that, we brought in Dave Allen, owner of Bar A Cattle Company. Dave, good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brett.
Shane was needing somebody to commentate with him on this that would know a little bit about a bull, and they said you own some business in Texas. What is that, Gene Source? Tell us just real quick about Gene Source.
Yes, sir. We started Gene Source about a little over 10 years ago, a semen distribution company, and we're all breeds, but the Hereford breed of the purebred breeds is actually our highest selling breed.
Awesome. That's good stuff. So let's dive right into this. We can talk about this show. They said 775 exhibitors, Shane.
It's amazing. Those young people, I mean, this is their Super Bowl. This is what they work for year in, year out. And, they're the mating decisions that, you think about our bred and owned exhibitors. Mm-hmm. They've been working in their own cow herds and doing here, over the last few years. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've been thinking about Louisville for a while.
That's right.
And so it's pretty cool where these kids from 39 different states are coming to show. And so we'll get going with showmanship tomorrow. We'll have a bred and owned show, a female show, where the exhibitor has to breed the animal. And so we'll have a bred and owned female show, a bred and owned bull show. We'll have a bred and owned cow-calf show, mm-hmm. an owned cow-calf show, which is going to be incredible. Oh, just walking through the barn. Pair show is going to be a great testament to the breed. And then, of course, a steer show. Everybody loves a good steer show.
You bet. Yeah. Dave, talk to us real quick. We hit on the owned heifer show. That's separate. They don't show the horn against the poles here. They're showed separate. Is that right?
Yes, sir. And, it works out really well. One, because our breed is so big, mm-hmm. and it's nice to be able to separate them out. The way I look at any show is, hey, the more kids that can win something, the better.
That's right.
And we have so many that you can have two great shows.
You bet.
So, there's a few of the national situations where they get divided, and that's mm-hmm. great. And so it's really a good thing that we do it here.
Right. Yeah, you bet. That's good stuff. And Shane, we talked earlier about you and your position here in breed improvement and things. Talk about the EPD profiles of the cattle that are at the show. I think sometimes the show cattle get just a little bit of a pigeonhole, but I don't think that's the case here, is it?
Yeah, I think about our breed in general, and about, a majority of our breeders have stayed focused. Because these cattle have to work for the commercial man. They have to work in the industry. And our breeders have done a really nice job. And you think about some of the sires that have had a big impact on this breed. They've been Denver champions, but they've also been able to sire, a couple thousand commercial bulls. in the industry that have made a difference in our breed over time. And that follows right into this Junior National Hereford Expo. I mean, we've had a great influence. We do judge with numbers. It's an important part of our business. Folks are looking at that, and so we've got to remember this is also about education.
That's right.
You had a HIFA section there a little bit ago, and that's one of the pillars.
Right.
And so these tools that we have are just that.
Right.
A blend of phenotype, a blend of the EPDs that these animals have, and as you look at the data and the numbers that make up the cattle, the 2,100 entries that we had, 9 of the 17 traits fall on the right side of breed average, and the ones that don't are right there at breed average.
Oh, good.
So that's pretty impressive. And relative to, there'll be some bulls here that push the upper outliers of percentile rank. And so it's pretty impressive, really, what these folks have been able to do and blend the two together. And that's where we're going. That's where this industry is going to be.
Yeah, you bet. Balanced approach. I think that's what your message has always been at Hereford, is just be balanced in what you're doing. But let's get right into the nuts and bolts of. We talk about some sire groups, Shane.
Yep.
What are some potential sires that we're going to see here this week that you think we're going to have some influence?
Well, 2296 has cut a wide swath. The upstream bull that came right out of the heart of their program and out of Nebraska, and Dave's a native Nebraskan, and so there's been we've got so many great breeders there in that state. But the upstream program is synonymous. They sell over 300 bulls a year and do a really good job, and have done for many years. But 2296 has been pretty tough to beat.
Right.
The last 3, 4, 5 junior nationals, the champions, both on the horned and pulled side or reserves. I mean, he's cut a wide swath. And Dave, now there's sons and grandsons that make this up, that are carrying on that tradition.
Yeah, like you get into the Montgomery, DeBrard, now kind of the up and coming son, marksman.
Yep.
We're starting to see a lot of those, and they're very competitive. So not only has he dominated, and they're still tough, but you've got several sons out there that are pushing it just as hard as he has.
Yeah, you bet. When you talk about big herd book, like Hereford has a big herd book, I feel like, it compared to the industry. When you guys find something that works, your breeders aren't afraid to get in there and make it work, which I think builds maybe some genetic consistency for you guys.
There's no doubt. And you think about the line that 2296 comes from, you have 2 of the most dominant AI stud bulls in the breed. Okay, and so his sire was Churchill Sensation, that would have came out of Montana, the Van Huysen program, that did a phenomenal job for Gen X and has left a pile of daughters that have been great for this breed. And so as you look down the pedigrees on both sides, you'll see Sensation in a lot of these cattle that show, and then you can go to about any commercial herd out in the country and either find Sensation or his sire,
right?
The upstream 3027 bull.
Okay.
That has wrote a really neat chapter, and it kind of ties our whole thing together. CK Ranch out of Kansas would have bought that bull in upstream sale. He went through a national reference sire program, which is kind of a birth to harvest progeny test, and that bull set it on fire. ABS picked that bull up, and he was in the top 5 of their entire breed bull battery.
Wow.
For several years.
Right.
And the amount of good that both of those bulls did for our breed and for the commercial cattlemen really, I think, has kickstarted this whole push for more Hereford demand and genetics, because udder quality, longevity, durability, moderation, and the cattle were sound and they've held up, and so everything that you want,
right,
they've really done a great job in.
Yep, you bet. Dave, you hit on some 2296 sons that you thought were playing off of some of the 2296 success. What other sires do you see this week that you feel like maybe they're under the radar, maybe they've been heavy used, but they haven't had that splash What do you see in?
Oh, I mean, I think we'll see. The one thing about this breed is you'll have stuff come out that you really didn't even know a lot about.
Okay.
And you'll see some of that. But there's a handful of other bulls out there being used hard that we'll see a lot of them. There'll be some, the Bel Airs, the Blueprints, the American Classics. Shane, what am I forgetting as far as the other bigger sire groups?
High Roller.
Yep,
is
we're
another
going to see
bull
quite a few of
that's
those
out there. That's doing a pretty good job. The Profit Bull.
Yep.
That's
Dominate.
Yep. And so there's a few of those bulls that are just walking through the barn. You can see those calf crops are coming together.
Right.
And they're going to put together a presence out here.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Which bull makes the splash that's off the radar today? Which of the bulls that we listed makes a splash? What's your gut telling you?
That's tough.
It is
Brett.
tough, and that's what I like about it.
It's an excellent question. I mean, I think the Marksman bull, I really like what he's doing. I mean, I just that bull was successfully campaigned and did so well. The Kelly crew, I mean, they're phenomenal. And they do a good job, and they always have one in the hunt. But Marksman himself, I mean, I think he's truly kind of carried that torch. Dave, I don't know. I mean,
I'm totally in agreement. Just from the semen selling side, I see a lot of cattle, but I also see what semen goes out a lot.
You bet.
And of the bulls we're talking about, you say the newer up and coming, the Marksman, there's been a lot of semen go out the door the last year and a half.
Okay.
And there's been some winners before a lot of semen went out.
You bet.
And so I'm with Shane. I think we're going to see that deal be pretty competitive, not only right now, but for the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's good. Well, like we said before, the Hereford people, when something works, they're going to get in the boat. And I would say that's a bull. If Dave's telling us that the guys are rowing over there wanting some of it, you better be paying attention. So
I mean, the last one that much went out on was 2296.
Oh,
5-6 years ago, and at 2296 it still rolls out.
Yeah. Wow.
But I mean, if you just kind of comparing, when you start selling a bunch of one and then you start seeing them, it's heading that direction.
Well, we can say what we want to, we can predict all we want to, but those of you watching the next couple of days on Walton's, keep up with that and see. And I hope we're wrong. I hope there's some new bull that comes along. I hope for everybody in the barn that says, well, what about my bull?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There will be.
There will be those bulls show up, and that's the good thing. So,
and there'll be a mix,
right,
for sure.
That's good. What's talking about AI and talk about breeding? We're going to thank Transova next, and Transova is going to make viewing of this show possible through Walton Webcasting. And listen to our partners here from Transova.
Your legacy is not only where you came from, but more importantly, it's where you're headed. With our toolbox of reproductive technologies, exceptional team of professionals, and more than 40 years of experience, we continue to create future leaders. Whether it's advancing superior genetics or empowering the next generation of livestock producers, you can trust Transova to continue your legacy.
Well, we're back again. We're going to wrap this thing up. And with all things Cattle Drive Live, we never shut one down. I take that back. We've done it one time, and I was reminded multiple times. We close every cattle drive out with what we call Cattlemen's for Christ. And tonight, it's 1 Chronicles 16:11. Says, look to the Lord in his strength. Seek his face always. Ponder on that for the week when you're looking for something. And maybe you've got a question. Maybe look to that other face and see if you can find the right answer. Well, I got to tell both of you, Cattle Drive Live has went maybe next level for me with Hereford Now, and I've got to tell you, this has been exciting.
This has been exciting. I'm just tickled with it, and like I was telling Jack and Taylor Bell, we got a plan. We can keep doing this. This is gonna this is not the last time we're gonna do this, Brett. We just really appreciate you letting us have this opportunity to tell our Junior National story.
Oh, it's fun, and to me, it's not just the story of Junior Nationals. It's a story of American Hereford. You guys have a lot going on at the association in terms of what you do, Jack driving the wagon, what you do with Haifa, with what Bailey and the girls do with this show. This is something else. And I can tell you out there, those of you wondering, the state of American Hereford, get in a car, come to Louisville, and see just what the cattle have to offer. More importantly, what the association does for the future growth of youth. Thank you both. Thank you for being on Cattle Drive. And until next time, good luck.